Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. We're already open for business. Why? Because stuff has been going on all day long. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Okay. All right. I've got to balance okay. Sorry. Earl Thomas signed with Philly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. That's a good one. Okay, so we got jokes in the house. Sorry, I meant with the Texans. Well, if that's the case, then I just missed it because I had seen nothing with that. Well, thank you very much, North Carolina's finest fans. Now you guys got me off my game here talking about Earl. If that literally happened, it literally happened in the last 2 minutes, and I've had some people wanting to play with me, and just making sure here. Yeah, see, y'all just fucking with me. Anyway, here's the deal, guys. It is the beginning of free agent frenzy. Don't ask me why they're sitting here calling it legal tampering, because to me it seems like full all out business right now with the players and stuff. We see teams that are trading left and right, teams that are cutting guys, teams that are signing guys. Everything in the world is going on, and it's just been crazy. Now, of course, us Cowboys, well, we got into the fray today, too. We got into it big time, guys. I mean, we signed Cody. Yeah, Cody McElroy, who played all of 0 plays with the Rams. 0 plays with the Rams in the regular season, although he did play 61 plays in preseason. 29 special teams, 32 regular plays. So we're ahead of the game from last year. Last year, well, we didn't do much in free agency the first week. In fact, you guys may remember that the Jones family was off in North Carolina on vacation. So at least we have some improvement from our Dallas Cowboys this week. We at least have them in Dallas. Miss Jackie, well, he's not really washed up. He's a never was. In order to be washed up, you have to actually play to be washed up. You have to actually go out there, and then you kind of get old. So he's not even washed up. He's a never been so far. And Miss Jackie, shout out to you for getting taking care of the Dak Prescott shirt. I see all the names and stuff on there. It's on the way to Sandman. Sandman gets it tomorrow, and he's got all kinds of vets that are going to be signing. And from there, it's really going to do something special with Joseph Hartley, another one of our great fans and stuff that we have in here. So the Dallas Cowboys, I think, are playing a game of chicken, because when we start thinking about Earl Thomas, the problem for Earl Thomas is you quitting YouTube if they don't get Earl. Why would I quit YouTube because they didn't get Earl? Are you trying to get the dumbass comment of the day brought back? Is that what it is? You know what? It's so funny how people, if I am not 100% right on everything, how people will jump on me and tell me how much I'm wrong. Yet we can have the talking heads out there wrong on a consistent basis and still get paid. Hell no, I ain't quitting YouTube. Are you kidding me? If you don't like what I'm saying, that's cool. We okay. Excuse me. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's cool. We good. But I ain't going nowhere. So if you don't like it, march your ass out the door. Now, I'm giving you my opinion on what I think the team will do. Whether or not it's right or wrong, this is my opinion. And since, as last I checked, this was a free country where, at least in your mind, you can think what you want to think. Now, that may have changed. I don't know. But as far as the last time I checked, I can believe and say what I want to say, especially on my channel. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. But in my heart, I believe that the biggest problem for the Dallas Cowboys last year, besides our offense getting off to a slow start and being offensively challenged with Scott Linehan, is if we had gotten a turnover or two more in a couple of games, we go to the Super Bowl. That's a fact. Teams that take the ball away have better chances of winning. Our defense, don't get me wrong, our defense played exceptional. They kept us in games that we had no business being in when our offense was inept. And I'm proud of the way our defense, which started out in 2013 as historically a bad defense, that every single year they have gotten better. But here's the thing about when you get good. There's no time to relax. You have to continue to constantly get better. Because if you don't, the next guy is going to figure out what you're doing, and they're going to figure out how to do it better. Make no mistake about it. 2016, Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett said, you know what? We got the best offensive line in football. We got Zeke Elliott. Dak Prescott is a decent quarterback. We don't need to change anything. Des Bryant got better as the season went on. All we got to do is show up next year with that group of guys, and we will just blow past everybody. It's done. We're good. And you know what happened? Every defensive coordinator out there picked apart the film. They realized, hey, listen, you can't sit there as a defensive line and let that big offensive line of the Cowboys just pound on you. What you got to start doing is run blitzing, penetration. Make Zeke Elliott have to make moves in the backfield. And that slowed down that offense because everybody knew what we were going to do. This year, offense didn't turn over the ball much, which thank God they didn't. Because a turnover here or there, it would have been a losing season. But we did not take the ball away. We had a putrid 9 interceptions on the season. 9. That sucks. That sucks. And if you're satisfied with what the defense did with 9 interceptions, then you don't care about winning the Super Bowl. Because there's 2 things you need on your defense. You need pressure and sacks, and you need turnovers. We got pressures and sacks, but we didn't get the turnovers. This guy right here, Earl Thomas, gets turnovers. Since 2010, there's nobody out there that's had more. Even in the 4 games that he had, he got 3. A third of what we got for the whole team for the season. Now, I may be wrong. He may come in here in day 1, end up busting his knee and not being able to play. That's the reality of football. Anybody can get hurt on any given play. But I look at the pedigree of this guy. I look at him knowing the system where we could play a single high safety because that guy can cover the field. I look at him from the aspect of knowing the defense and who can walk in instantly and know how to play it and knows how to teach it. To me, he may cost a little more than some of the other guys. He's going to be better fit. Now, we're all upset right now because, we're looking at teams that are going out there and they're getting all these players and everything else left and right. And I get it. Like I said earlier, you feel like the poor kid at Christmas when you're watching all your rich friends riding outside with their new bike or out there with the new sled, or their new Xbox and stuff, and you got clothes. You got a lump of coal. You got nothing. I get that. And believe me, I'd like to have a shiny new piece right now so that way I can talk. Because you got the Redskin fans like, yeah, man, we got Landon Collins, man. We got Case Keenum, so we at least have a quarterback now, right? You got that, right? You got the Eagle fans there. Yeah, man, we got D-Jax back, even though he stays injured and he's past his prime and is a bit of a cancer. But we got D-Jack back, man. We got Malik in there, man. Malik Jackson in the middle. We got rid of Bennett. But, man, we got Malik Jackson, one of the most disruptive defensive players out there. And here we are with Cody. Who? Cody. I get it. Raymond, thank you very much for the super chat. I get it. I understand completely how we feel. And I believe that this guy would be a difference maker. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong and it doesn't work out, Brian from SoCal, thank you very much for the super chat. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I will still go to my grave thinking that this guy would be a difference maker in the same way I thought Calais Campbell would have been for our defense. That's the way I look at it. Now, you may have a different opinion, and that may be the case. But I feel like we need a player that's going to be an impact. Not only Earl Thomas here, okay? Because if the Dallas Cowboys mean what they said, that the Cowboys are going to go all in. And Stephanie, you're right. We got the draft. But we don't have that first-round draft pick.
But the question I have for you is who else would you want besides Earl Thomas?
I wouldn't mind trying to get Justin Houston. Get Justin Houston for a year. Because that guy, you put him on the defense. And here's the reason why. That's Michael Anthony Fitness. Hello, everybody.
I was just curious.
Everybody say hello to Michael Anthony Fitness, and you can see his dog's tail wagging right there.
I don't know if y'all can see me,
but yeah, Michael Anthony is right here in the house. Yeah, okay. But I think if you're all in, what you try and do right now in free agency is, okay, you're pushing your chips in. And everybody who says we don't have money, well, you know what? The Eagles only had $2 million 2 weeks ago. Okay? Got that. That was Michael waving there, of course. If your thing is, what you need is a hellacious pass rush, so you need to go ahead and square up with DeMarcus Lawrence. You need a hellacious pass rush, and you need a safety that can cover and can take away the ball. I wasn't big on Landon Collins. Landon Collins is like a linebacker. He is great in run support, but he is not a takeaway type of guy. And the Redskins, well, I got to tell you, the Redskins do what the Redskins always do, and that's overpay. Personally, I think the Redskins, what they needed to do is just start all over. Look at this year as a red shirt year, because every year they keep trying to plug a piece here, a piece there, and win the offseason and end up being in the basement. But hey, why should I worry about the Redskins? That's their problem, right? And Thomas Garrett, that's what I'm saying. Because see, look at the team. Here's what you got to do. Understand. Look at New England. They let Flowers go. Pro Bowler. And they bring in Marty B. So they say, you know what? He may not be, he's a little older, but we can play a role with him. We can save some money, and we can get some other parts. Because their philosophy is not to have the best at every position. Their philosophy is, I need to make sure I got good at every position, and I got good backing up every one of those positions. And I got guys that will play a role. So that's where you start looking at it. And as far as everybody, oh man, the Raiders, they got Antonio Brown. You know, an interesting stat. Every wide receiver that has changed teams after having 100 reception that year, when they changed teams, has never, and I mean never, got to 1,000 receptions again. Excuse me, 100 receptions the next year. So everybody thinking that, oh man, the Raiders got this guy and that guy, that it takes time for a team to meld together. It's hard to get all these pieces to work together, and you've still got Derek Carr as your quarterback. Derek Carr, who doesn't understand that there's no crying in football. Derek Carr, who couldn't do anything with Amari Cooper. I'm not saying that Amari Cooper should have been a Pro Bowler, but it's not that Amari Cooper didn't have talent. You're telling me that you had that receiver, and if we say that Dak Prescott is trash, then how is it he was able to do so much with Amari Cooper, yet Derek Carr, who's a great quarterback, as some of you guys say, couldn't? Can anybody explain that one to me? So, just because they got some guys doesn't mean it's always going to work. And a lot of times what happens in free agency is a guy is a product of the system that they're in and the people that are around them. But when they go to another team, what happens is they have to become the guy and they don't have the supporting cast or the system that's with them. It's just why you'll see so many free agents that you look and say, how come this guy's a bum now? You could look at, if you go back in the day of me, back in my day when the Cowboys were really good, you could look at Alvin Harper. Alvin Harper was deadly going across the middle. Oh my God, Alvin Harper, he was a stud. And as everybody said, man, that guy should be a number one. But he benefited from the Dallas Cowboys having the best offensive line in football, having Emmitt Smith, running like crazy, and benefited from having 88 going down the field. There was nobody left to cover him. But when he left to go to Washington or to Tampa Bay and had to be the guy without that system, nothing. So before we get too excited about guys that are getting signed left and right, understand this one. I read an interesting stat today that was just kind of blew me away, and it makes 100%. Since 2010, if you take the first, the second, and third round draft picks of the New York Stinking Giants, on their team right now, of those first three picks over the last 8 years, only 2 of those players are still on the team. Odell Beckham, who lately has had a problem staying on the field, and Sterling Shepard. Everybody else they have drafted since 2010 in the first 3 rounds are gone. And you can look and see the void of talent on that team. The Dallas Cowboys, on the flip side of that, since 2010, first, second, and third round draft picks, we have 11 of them still on the team if you count Randy Gregory. More than half. And 9 of them are starters. The Dallas Cowboys have been able to get talent. So, you've got talent. Hopefully we got better coaching with Chris Richard, and hopefully more will be better than Scott Linehan. Hopefully we'll do better. But you still need a little advantage here and there. So Earl Thomas wants to be the highest paid safety still. We got Landon Collins, who's younger, doesn't have the injury history, gets 6 years, $84 million. Just blew me away, but that's the Washington Redskins for you. They always pay too much. And you had Tyrann Mathieu, who the Texans were trying to keep. They had offered him $9.5 million per year in a long-term deal. Kansas City signs him to a 3-year, $42 million deal. So those 2 guys right there just raised up the ceiling. So now, Earl still wants $14 million. Cowboys, the cabinets are still in the works, Sandman. And tomorrow, for Miss Jack, I need to send you the tracking information. Tomorrow you'll have the shirt, Sandman. Cowboys want to pay 8 to 10. Earl wants 14. No income taxes in Dallas, so that's really about $2 million probably right there, saving taxes. So the question you have to ask is, Earl, how much do you really want to be a Dallas Cowboy? Can we meet in the middle? You want 14, the Cowboys want 10. How about 10 million guaranteed, another 2 or 3 in incentives? And I will say this one, this will be my final thought on Earl, unless we get some more questions about it, is the longer it takes before he signs, the better the odds that we get him. At least in my estimation. Because the money's going to start drying up. Sarah, yeah, okay, let me write you down. Okay, Sarah. Wait a minute, Sarah. Look, okay, I see there's a bunch of people who Let me go back to you, Sarah. Sandman, do you see that right there? Sarah McGill wants to get her shirt name put on the shirt, so you need to find a lady with nice handwriting to put it on for it. And Sandman, that is a great point because I think Eric Berry, you're not going to have, 27 million tied up in two safeties. I think Eric Berry is going to be released. So, as a cap savings. So, yeah, that definitely, to me, I don't think you spend that kind of money on both of them. All right, so then that brings us, of course, to DeMarcus Lawrence. D-Law, I got to tell you, I don't know that I'd want to have that coming at me. Pissed off. But he's not a happy camper right now. D-Law wants that deal done, and he wants to get paid. How you doing, Castro? Peter Blue, I see Derek, Anthony, Stephanie, of course. How you doing, Stephanie? Can we stop talking about Earl? Stephanie, do I come on, do I have to start talking about it? Okay, but it's still out there. It's still a topic. Suppose Earl holdout per Peter Blue. Sinead, okay, let me, I can see I'm going to end up writing all these down. Sinead Pedro. Okay. Sinead Pedro, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I do it. Sandman. Do me a favor, Sandman. Can you write down these people for me? Because I have a couple of things that I'm doing right here. It makes it a little difficult to make the list, if at all possible. If you could write those down, I'd appreciate it. Because Sandman's going to have it. Some of our great vets are going to be signing the shirt and stuff, and then he's going to be passing it on to Joseph Hartley. Joseph Hartley, who's done a lot of stuff for this channel. Anthony Johnson, thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, Trey Flowers. Yeah, there's a lot of money going around. Trey Flowers got that 18 million, like we said. The Honey Badger got 42. Collins got 84. Trade Tank Lawrence would be stupid. Yeah, I don't think you can trade him because he is without. Here's the thing with D-Law. Everything else in that defense goes with that outside pass rush. Everybody else is better because of that outside pass rush. Why is somebody okay? Maybe I am obsessed with Earl Thomas. I'm obsessed with. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, Dante. When I get a gut feeling about something, I'm like a pit bull, and I just don't let it go. I just feel this in my bones that this is a thing that will make a difference, okay? And that's why I'm fighting hard as hell. I don't know if Jerry Jones or anybody else listens to me or anything, but I'm trying to put it out into the universe that this is what we need to do for the star. We need a lights-out, ball-hawking safety. And Xavier Woods, nothing against you. You're young, inexperienced, and you will be a great player. But we don't have time to wait. Jeff Heath, you're good in spots, but you're not Earl Thomas. And you have to evaluate the team right now and say, what are the best places we can improve on? Pass rush? Our linebacking core is good. Cornerbacks are okay as long as we got a pass rush. But safety. You look at the offense, you say, we need a third down back to go with Zeke Elliott. Okay? Tight end, we got covered up. Offensive line, you could use another offensive lineman. You could use a swing tackle to go in there. You could use some more depth just in case. Tight end, the jury's out. You've got Jason Witten, but maybe for a year, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to pull Tom Brady and be Father Time or whatever. But you need to get somebody in there to start developing. So that's where you're looking at. Thomas Garrett, thank you very much for the super chat. And if you can put Thomas Garrett on the shirt as well there. Say, man, you're going to be busy just copying everybody else's name on it. So that's why I'm talking about Earl Thomas. I truly feel like that guy is a difference maker. When I talked about Calais Campbell, I did the same thing, and everybody said, "You're a freaking idiot. He's too old. He has too much money. He's not going to be a guy. He won't make a difference." And he turns around and gets 15 sacks that next year in Jacksonville, and made that whole defense that much better. And that's the effect that I believe that guy will have. Now, when we talk about money, you guys are probably too young to understand this or remember this, but when primetime came to the Dallas Cowboys, primetime got paid. He got a boatload of money, but he was the power shift from San Francisco to the Dallas Cowboys that helped lead us to another Super Bowl. And that's why I'm obsessed with it. I'm about trying to win another freaking Super Bowl. I'm tired of seeing the New Englands. I'm tired of seeing the Rams go 3 times since we've been there. I'm tired of seeing the Eagles in there twice since we've been there. I'm tired of seeing the Giants in there 3 times since we've been in there. I'm sick and tired of seeing New Orleans, a team that was always and never was, a team that started out with the bags over their heads and things, go win a Super Bowl. I'm tired of seeing, the Cardinals go to a Super Bowl. I am focused on us doing anything and everything it's going to take to get our ass back to the Super Bowl. And that guy is a guy that can help us get there. That's my belief. Anyway. Sorry, I lost my cool there. Okay. Earl going to Texas, still in Texas. That's possible. That's possible. But here's the other thing, and I'm just going to say this one thing. We know Richard Sherman has been trying to get him to go to San Francisco. We got that. But you haven't heard anybody else from San Francisco say they want him there, though, do you? And you haven't heard anybody else talking about signing him either, have you? So that's where we are. But D-Law, get this thing done. He's saying he's going to wait to get his shoulder worked on. He's not happy. He's stewing. I want this guy happy. I want him hungry, and I want him healthy. We need him. So let's get this thing done. Sandman, you're going to have your hands full, buddy. You're going to have your hands full. If you're breaking news, Cowboys are looking to sign Rowdy to Oscar. Really, Oscar? They're looking to sign Rowdy to a long-term deal? On that note, Joe Boo, we're going to get you a refill on that one, okay? Because I tell you what, Cowboys make you drink. How do you get a shirt? I actually have a Jobu store. Teespring Cowboy Jobu. Let me look it up real quick. I can't remember the damn thing myself. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Storefront. Bam. Cowboy Jobu store at Teespring. So if you want to look it up, you can actually get them there. Proceeds from it go to help upgrade the channel and things, as well as the super chats. And I appreciate that. And everybody who has done super chats since Friday, I'm going to start doing the giveaways. Joseph Hartley is sending me a bunch of Cowboys collectibles, and some of the stuff he's got is really, really old. So I have no idea what he's sending. But I'm going to start doing some giveaways and stuff. And we have the autograph signing at the end of the month. We're going to start getting some more autograph shirts and stuff. So supporting the channel, I appreciate it. And we keep trying to come up with some new stuff. Hopefully I haven't messed up. Hopefully the sound quality is okay. Hopefully the picture quality is good. Hopefully it hasn't been like buffering or anything. I've been really putting a lot of effort into changing the studio, getting lockers and stuff done, getting the monitors and things. I still have some more work to get this one hooked up, but I want to get my man Law Nation in here. We need to get Vosh in here. We need to start doing a whole lot of stuff together so we can really, really take this to another level. Well, Cole Beasley, that's another one that we got to get to. Interestingly enough, You've seen like Danny Amendola signed with the Lions, and we know Jason Garrett went to Cole Beasley and said, "Look, we really want you back." Tamir, you're right. I do need to trademark him. Um, they want Cole Beasley back. We should sign Bell. Josh, first of all, where are we getting the money to pay Bell? Thank you very much, Stephanie. You're talking about this one. I actually bought this one in Dallas, but I think you can find these online as well. If you go to the Dallas Cowboys shop, I think they have it. Lord knows they'll sell you anything. Surprised Jerry hasn't tried to sell his mother. Andy Isabella. Please draft Andy Isabella to replace Cole Beasley. Okay. Put Alan Hearns in as a slot receiver. Well, what kind of rum is that? It's Ron Zappa. This is really, really good rum. Oh my, that's. Well, here's the thing, though. A slot receiver is important, but to me, your bigger need is going to be defensive line. And so, going back to what I would like for our Cowboys to be able to do is to be in a position to draft the best player possible, whoever that may be that's left on the board, because you never know how a draft's going to fall. We know that this draft is full of defensive linemen and edge rushers. And you want to get one or two because we truly need that. Kevin Tanner. Hey, how you doing, Kevin? Kevin, I'm on live, buddy. Mark, are you listening? Hazel, what am I listening? What did I miss? Would you trade Dak? Trade Dak for what? Anybody's tradable, but what would you trade him for? That would be a question. Hazel Brooks, what am I listening for? Let me try and see if I can back up and see what you are talking about. I'm sorry, the comments, there's so many people in here, the comments are just flying through, so I can only get a couple of them. Bees does not. Bees has actually not dropped that many passes, not in comparison to, say, like Des Bryant. We had a lot of drops until Amari Cooper got in there. But I think Cole Beasley is going to be. I agree with you, Hazel, that Cole Beasley is going to be out. Of course, they said they're keeping Alan Hearns, but if something better comes along, they could end up still kind of saying Alan Hearns, thanks but no thanks. The shoulder is kind of minor. I mean, it's not a major shoulder injury. He played with it. And I'm still trying to see what somebody give me what you're saying you would trade Dak Prescott for, because to me, no, I wouldn't trade him. Did we get McElroy for $0 since he has zero stats? No, I'm sure he's got at least the minimum. I'm sure he didn't come in for free, but you could have probably said the same thing about David Irving when we first signed him too. Everybody was kind of like, David Irving. Had that guy had his head on his shoulders. God. Could you imagine if David Irving and Randy Gregory stayed out of trouble? Could you imagine? Jeez. That would have been nice. Anita Taylor, I'm with you. Trade Dak for who? Or is it going to be a Herschel Walker type deal? I consider if there's going to be one like that. Rivera's, I would love to get a nose tackle in the draft. I would love to get a big fat guy. Because here's my philosophy is different than the Cowboys. The Cowboys believe in tall, lean, quick defensive linemen, which works great because most of their sacks come off of stunning. It's not where I'm beating the guy man up. It's I've got the nose tackle taking the guard outside, and I've got the end coming in. They're doing more stunts and things, which is great because they're fast. Okay? But when you get a team like the Rams did or like the Colts did, and they just ran it right up the gut, where they just literally just mano y mano just push those young guys, you need a big guy to be able to hold the middle, who can drop the anchor. A guy who's not 6'4", 290 pounds. You need a guy that's about 6 foot, about 350 pounds, low center of gravity, that when he gets that double team, he drops the shoulder and heads to the ground and occupies space. We don't really have that guy that does that. You see, Miss Jackie, you see, you don't have to trade just dumb Cowboy fans. What else is new? Well, Miss Jackie, like, I have to use a Voshism, which would be, if it were up to the fans, the Dallas Cowboys would have absolutely nobody on the team, because they'd say, get rid of Zeke Elliott because he's a problem. Okay, Tyron Smith can't stay healthy. Travis Frederick, he's got that thing, so get rid of him. Dak Prescott, well, he's a 4th-round draft pick, of course. Amari Cooper, he's a number one, costs us a number one. That's too much. Sean Lee always stays hurt. Jalen Smith had a bad leg. So you can go down the line, and pretty much everybody who's on the Cowboys is a bum and needs to go. And my question always is okay, who you're replacing and how you're replacing the person with. If your idea is Dak sucks, okay, go get somebody else. Who are you going to go get? Nick Foles just got an $84 million contract. $84 million contract. That could be worth as much as 110. He won a Super Bowl. I'll give you that. But here's the thing about Nick Foles. With the exception of winning that Super Bowl in his second year in Philadelphia, the rest of that stuff is not that good. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be throwing 40 times, 50 times and winning you games, and he doesn't have a wide receiver really to throw to right now. Who else are you going to get to replace Dak? Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater. Got to get him? From Miami, what's his name? Shit, can't even remember his name. Of course, we could have traded for Joe Flacco or Case Keenum. Dak Prescott has won 33 games. 33. See, this wasn't about Dak Prescott. See, y'all just like to piss me off. Y'all just like to piss me off. Garrett Lance, thank you very much for the super chat. I just want you to take a quick peek at this. Let me pull this up. I want you to take a look at this right here. Hopefully you guys can see these numbers. 13-3, 9-7, 10-6. 3,600, 3,300, 3,800. So 10,876 yards, 67 TD passes, okay? And see, does it have rushing TDs, Does not. But his QBR, 96, his rate, 96 on the, where? Oh, 96. 96 in 3 years. See, and again, if it were up to Cowboy fans, Troy Aikman would have been kicked to the curb. Troy Aikman's a bum. Get him out of here. Take a look at Troy Aikman's first 3 years. 1,700 yards, 2,500 yards, 2,700 yards. TDs, 9 TDs, 11 TDs, 11 TDs. Interceptions, 18, 18, and 10. Fourth year, 23. First year, he was over 3,000 yards passing. Let's see. take a look over here and see what we have with Aaron frickin' Rodgers, who's known as the bad man. Oh, well, his first 3 years, he didn't really even play, did he? 65 yards, 46 yards, 218. Fourth year, finally got on the field. How about Russell Wilson? Let's take a quick peek here. Because Russell Wilson gets credit because they won a Super Bowl. And part of the reason why they won a Super Bowl was they had the number one defense.
Would have won two.
Okay? The number one defense in football that was number one in taking the ball away. But take a look. Look at this. 3,100 yards, 3,300 yards, 3,400 yards. His first 3 years. 26 touchdowns, 10. 26 touchdowns, 9. 20 touchdowns, 7. But in his fourth year, 34 and 8. You notice a trend here? Anybody notice a trend? Anybody notice the trend here of what I'm showing you? Is the first 3 years, the first year, sometimes you have great years as a rookie. Second year, all of a sudden, everybody knows what you're doing. It's a sophomore slump. Third year, it's getting back on track. Fourth year is the year that you start taking the next step. His numbers, better than Russell Wilson. His numbers, better than Troy Aikman. His numbers, better than Aaron Rodgers to start their career. And I know you guys will say you can't compare him with those guys. Why? We're comparing the first 3 years of their career. Oh, Tony Romo wasn't on the field. I'll give you, let's try one more and see where we are. And I know this one is hard to put it into perspective because it was totally a different era. But let's talk about Captain Comeback and see what happened his first 3 years. 421 yards, 542, 1,800. So this is a bad example for year number 4 because year number 4 he was injured. He got 98 yards. Wow. But his fifth year, he did pretty good. 23 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. So give the guy a break because here's what I'm going to tell you. Kirk Cousins is one of those guys. Oop, lost the camera there. Lost the camera there for a second. Kirk Cousins is one of those guys that has statistics. He's got a ton of yards passing, mainly because he's been in passing offense. We are a ball control offense that our philosophy is let's hold on to the ball for as long as possible and protect our defense and try and make the offenses one-dimensional. Win the battle of time of possession. You're not airing it out. Believe it or not, if you go through the statistics, the yards per completion between Big Ben and Dak Prescott, I think are only like 0.2 of a yard different. But they also pass about 140 more passes during the year because they are a passing offense, especially without Le'Veon Bell. So you have to understand that part of the problem we have is we grind out the clock and therefore have less plays. Completion percentage, QBR, yards per average, they're on par with everybody else. We just don't pass as much because you got Zeke Elliott. And that's what happens when you have the leading running back in the NFL, is you run the football more. That's how he becomes the leading running back in the NFL, because they're running the ball more and they're more effective. Adrian Amos would not be, I mean, he's not Earl Thomas, but yeah, and if they can't get Earl Thomas, I believe they're going to bring somebody else in. Because ideally, what you want to do is you want to upgrade as much as possible. You want to get to the position where, like I said, that you can draft the best player available. And I would love for us to try and plug up a lot of these holes before we get to the draft. We signed ET at midnight. Yeah, ET phone home. I should be Dak's agent. But if he wants to pick up the call, pick up the call. Well, I would actually, Hazel, and I think you're kind of new here. I haven't seen you here too often. I would actually love to see Zeke getting the ball more out in space. I'm worried and concerned when you start hearing about like Todd Gurley, who's already having arthritis in the knees after just signing that extension for 4 years and all the money that's on there. He couldn't perform the second half of the season or get more than 15 carries. So you have to start worrying, are we going to hit the brick wall with Zeke the way we're running him? You looked at DeMarco Murray, the way we ended up pounding him into the ground that year. Then, of course, going with Chip Kelly into the Eagles, he had 800 yards. And he was never quite the same back. You only have so many hits in you. And typically what happens is you hit the wall as a running back, and you hit it hard. So I don't want to see that happen with Zeke. I want to see us be able to prolong his career as long as possible. So that's where you look and say, we need a back. And I know a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? We got Zeke Elliott. No, you want to have a change of pace back. You want to have that scat back, that third down guy. They thought that Austin was going to be that guy, but Austin couldn't stay healthy. Charles Haley would be nice. Well, see, here's what you get with Charles Haley. Charles Haley is also a motivator. Charles Haley is one of those guys that if you're not doing everything you can to win, he's going to kick your ass. You don't have to worry about the other team beating you up. He's going to kick your ass. Oh, well, thank you, Hazel. I appreciate you watching. I'm kind of a jack of all trades and a master of none. So you never know what you're going to see me doing. And I enjoy talking, and Michael gets tired of listening. So you guys become my outlet. Otherwise, I'll just be standing there talking to myself, and that gets on the line of being crazy. I've noticed that too. I think it's cute. I missed that one. What's cute? When is Michael Irvin coming back? Yeah, they're getting the band back together here. Get Le'Veon or similar. You're going to need a poor man's version of Le'Veon Bell because he's going to want way too much money. Oh, did I leave? Mondu, thank you very much for the super chat. Charles Haley was crazy. Charles Haley was going to kick ass. And he has a crazy sense of humor. Brian, who did they lose? The Texans just lost. Who did they lose? DeMarcus Ware should come back. Duke Johnson, I think he already signed with somebody. Andrew, they actually did this past year. Zeke actually got more passes than he had in past years, but I think they need to continue it. If you look at how the Steelers used to use a picture of Dak behind me. There isn't a picture of Dak behind me. There is no picture of Dak behind me. Where'd you get that one? Oh, no, Duke Johnson? Okay, he is still available. Okay. Tank Johnson is signed. Okay. Yes, keep Dak. I didn't know Dak was on the trading block. Oh man, we could use a Russell Maryland or a Tony Tolbert, definitely, or a Leon Lett. Yeah, I would love to have a Leon Lett right now. How about a discount for some merch? I thought I gave you guys last week. I thought. Hang on here, because I gave you guys a discount code last week. I thought. Power, okay, all capitalized, Power 4. and that's 20% off. Power 4, okay? So that'll give you 20% if you go ahead and order stuff. On Jobu Homes. What the hell? Jobu Homes wants a discount? Okay. Mike Davis from Seattle. Get Duke Johnson. I'm curious to see what the Cowboys are going to. I mean, they're sitting back. I think the Cowboys are just going to let the dust clear, and I think they're going to try and sweat Earl out a little bit. Clinton Ha Dix, he didn't show much with the Redskins, but he did show up in the middle of the season. I think Eric Berry is going to get cut, without a doubt. They can't afford to keep him and the Honey Badger. So Eric Berry would be interesting, depending on how much he's looking to get paid. Give Terrence Williams a new. It's time to move on from Terrence Williams, from TW. Sorry, nothing personal, but Terrence. It's time to move on. Too much body catching for me. Come live. It's too hot in the summertime in Dallas. And my people are all up here. My mom and my dad and everything. I got to go by and help take care of them and stuff, man. So, I believe I'm going to be in Dallas a lot this year. Piro, you see, you're thinking about, hey, go for it. Understand when you're doing a YouTube channel, you got to have a thick skin because Lord knows I get cussed out on a regular. I got stalkers and everything else. Understand it does take a bunch of time, but you know what? Go for it. I'm more than happy to try and give you any thoughts that, contact me on my email, and I'll give you any tips that you want on what not to do. Seems like I don't do anything right. The Dak shirt is somewhere between Dallas and San Antonio. Sandman, who's in here, will have it tomorrow. And from there, it is going to Tucson, Arizona. And Joseph Hartley is going to do something really, really, oh my God. I'd love to tell you what that's going to be, but I can't tell you that because, well, it's going to be too cool. And I don't want to jinx it. So we're going to leave it with that. And we've got a few minutes left here. Blue, not even on the same planet. Ugh. Right, Sarah. Well, Sarah, you know Dallas is hot with you and Miss Jackie there. Of course it's hot. See what I did there? Okay. Michael's shaking his head. You're San Diego's biggest Dallas Cowboy fan? Shout out to you. The shirt will be, Andrew, it has to come back to Virginia because Dak's coming to Virginia on the 26th. Anybody who's actually I've met people from New Jersey and Atlanta and everything else. One of the big autograph signing shows is the CSA shows at the Dulles Expo Center in Chantilly, Virginia. And that's the weekend of the 26th. And literally, you've got the triplets are going to be there. Emmett's going to be there. Michael Irvin's going to be there.
It's the 22nd.
Is it 22nd?
The 26th is a Tuesday. It's next weekend.
No, it's the weekend after.
So you're saying it's on the 29th, that weekend?
It's the last weekend of the month.
So the 29th.
I guess. Whatever the last weekend of the month is.
29th.
Yeah. It's the last weekend. Whatever the last weekend in March is when it is. But Dak will be there. Who else is going to be there? I know there's a lot of legends that's going to be there as well.
There's not going to be a lot of. Well, it's the triplets.
The triplets going to be there. So you got Troy, you got Emmett, you got Mike.
The triplets and Nate Newton are the only legends that are going to be there.
Okay, Nate Newton.
What's his name?
Taco will be there. Dak will be there. Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch will both be there.
I think it's all like 8 of them this time.
Yeah, so we'll be there on that Sunday.
I think it's like 4 or 5. I think it's like 5 or 6 Redskins.
Oh, they got. Oh, really? Okay. Usually it's only like a couple of Redskin players that are there, but Mike Tyson's shown up to that one before. Hector Macho Camacho. I mean, Mike Myers was there last year. You know, we're talking about Halloween and stuff. So if you are anywhere near the Washington D.C. area or close by,
Cal Ripken was there too.
Yeah, Cal
He
Ripken.
spent extra time and took pictures.
Yeah, Cal Ripken was actually really cool. So that happens at the end of the month, and that's when we're actually going to present it to Dak Prescott. So if you go to the show, if you want to be a last-minute signer, you can show up for that. Somebody had also sent me an email and about the Cowboys experience. I'm going to get you in touch with Barry. Cowboys experience, great group, and we missed Earl. Did somebody sign him?
Probably 49ers. If anybody was going to sign Earl, it would be the 49ers.
Well, let me see.
Because I told you he was talking to the 49ers. If anybody,
Well, people have been playing with me too.
But it was reported he was talking to the 49ers. He didn't sign anything, but was talking to them to see what they wanted to offer.
I don't see it. Nope, I don't see anything on it.
I did see an article that said that he was talking to the 49ers.
Well, no. Actually, what that was that Richard Sherman wants him to come to 49ers. 49ers actually haven't reached out to him. So that's more of the player wanting him to come. Don't let him fool you again. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm old. You know, people trick us old people all the time. Is Xavier Woods good? Yes, but he's young. He needs more experience in things, and that's where having another guy who can mentor him. Dorrance Harris, thank you very much for the super chat. Only in Virginia. Only in Virginia still will bring Redskin players to a Cowboys. Well, no, actually, here's the thing. Enforcer Big Game. It's an autograph signing on the. I mean, it's one of the biggest ones on the East Coast. So it's not just Cowboy players. It's not a Dallas Cowboys signing. It's actually a sports signing. So there'll be hockey players. There'll be boxers. There'll be some actors. I'm trying to remember who it was. Henry Lee Winkler was there. The Fonz. Okay, he was there last year. Like I said, Mike Myers was there from Friday the 13th. But typically, there's only a couple. This literally is only about 10 miles from the Redskins park. And it's usually only like 2 or 3 Redskin players that show up. But Cowboy players-wise, geez, oh, flip. Last year, there was Bill Bates was there, Rayfield Wright, Charles has been there, Bill Bates has been there, Emerson Walls was there last year, Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek, Dak was there, Cole Beasley was there. Shoot, who else was there last year? Oh, Sean Lee, of course, is it. Taco was there. Yeah, I mean,
all
so.
the legends on the second one.
Oh my God,
Second,
Randy White was there. I mean, it was just like there had to be about 15 Cowboy players, and I think Alex Smith is the only Redskin I can remember being there last year.
him, a no-name wide receiver. And one
It might have been Jamison Crowler. What might have been the other one that was
That
there.
was the first one. The second one, they had 4.
Yeah,
Redskins players
but
and a whole bunch of legends.
But here's the thing: it's in the Redskins' backyard, and you've got more Cowboy players than anybody else. So that's where I've been going since like 2013, and you'll see so many Dallas Cowboy fans that'll be there. It's actually a great event.
My book and they'll tell you who went.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's where if you're anywhere near the area, it's like $15 to get in,
$10.
or $10 to get in, and you got to pay for the autographs. I mean,
if you go the whole weekend, it's $20.
Right.
That includes Friday.
Depending on the player, the Legends players are a lot cheaper than
They're like under,
like $25, $35 or so.
Less than the triplets.
Right, but Michael Irvin will be like 120, or Deion was there last time too.
Yeah, the first one last year.
Yeah, so
Deion Sanders like 200 and more.
it's definitely worthwhile to go. We'll be there, and we'll be covering it and looking for you fans and everything else out there. So we'll definitely get you guys hooked up, and that's where we'll be giving Dak Prescott the shirt because he's coming again. And so, with that being said, guys, damn, the hour goes by too fast. Sandman will have the shirt. I don't know if he's going to do like Miss Jackie, an autograph signing at a bar or something like that. But I'll get in touch with him and find out. Sandman, I will send you the information from Miss Jackie. Miss Jackie, thank you very much for signing the shirt. Sarah, thank you very much for signing the shirt and stuff. I want to keep that thing rolling and get as many signatures as possible. And everybody who gave me a super chat, let me see if I can I pull it up from here? Make sure. Stephanie, thank you very much for the super chat. You want my blue mug? I tell you what. Let me work on it. Let me see if I can find you one. Garrett Lawrence, thank you for the super chat. Mundane Muzo, if I butchered your name, I apologize. Darren Harris, Thomas Garrett, Anthony Johnson, Brian from SoCal. Brian, I got to get. I'm sorry. Yeah, 88 million for Nick Foles is crazy. It's crazy for Nick Foles. But I got to get with you about the Jobu logo. I appreciate the work you've done on it. And Raymond Solis, thank everybody for the super chats. If anything breaks with the Cowboys, I will be up all night long. You know I will be. But it's that time. Hopefully I didn't mess up too bad with the new set. I still have some work to do on it, but it is time to turn off the lights because this party's over. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, good. That makes you feel better.
What does?
That's that